I've made some videos on getting British Airways Gold status, and some lovely viewers have made some very kind comments, but they've also asked some really interesting questions. So in this video I'm going to answer those questions so you don't need to go trawling through the comments of 4 different videos to find the answers. BA recently updated the terms and conditions on their double tier point offer, and I was asked a question about the new clause 1F, and I had to call the Gold status line to get an answer to that. So if you're interested in that offer, keep an eye out for that question. Hi, I'm Phil and I'm on a grey gap year. I'll put all the questions into chapters so that you can just browse them from the description, and then you can just find all the information that you're interested in. And I've got my questions, so let's dive in. So the first question is, do you still get tier points if you pay with cash and Avios? I was asked this a few times in some slightly different ways, so there does seem to be some confusion around this, but it's actually very simple. The answer to this question is yes, you get the full amount of tier points if you pay with cash, even if you use some Avios to reduce the cash part of this fare. But I think the confusion arises because if you pay with Avios and cash, you get 0 tier points regardless of the amount of cash you pay. Let me explain. I'm logged into my account and I'm going to start a booking from the pay with money option. I could also be starting this booking from the BA home screen because this is a cash booking. Let's quickly select some arbitrary flights to New York and we'll get to the payment page. Once I've picked some flights, I get to the booking summary, and you can see here that I've got the option of paying for part of this fare in Avios. Now, it doesn't matter how many Avios I use to reduce the cash part, I'll earn the same 140 tier points each way in business that I would earn if I just paid for the whole fare in cash. Now for the reverse situation, I'm going to start my booking from the pay with Avios option, and again I'm just going to pick out some flights to New York. And here on the pricing page there are some fees and taxes which have to be paid in cash, but I also have the option to reduce the number of Avios I use by increasing that amount of cash. Now it doesn't matter how much cash I spend, I won't get any tier points on this booking. So cash and Avios bookings get their full tier points, and Avios and cash bookings get 0 tier points, and that's the takeaway. So the next question is, if I'm traveling with a partner and I book 2 flights, can I get 2 lots of tier points? And the short answer here is unfortunately not, because you can only get tier points from flying and you have to fly to get them. So when you purchase tickets for others in your group, you'll be able to add their executive club number when you fill out their details on the booking form. And they'll be able to get their own tier points and their own status, but you can't use their flight to accelerate your status. And this is the same for a viewer who was purchasing tickets on behalf of his wife. It didn't matter who purchased the tickets. If your wife is the one who's flying, then she's the one who gets the tier points and she's the one who gets the status. So the next question is about Qatar Privilege Club and Executive Club, and if the 2 accounts are connected, which you can do, will you get tier points on both? Now the short answer to this again is unfortunately no, but let's just fill in a bit of detail here. So Qatar and British Airways are both in the One World Alliance, and status with one airline gives you status with the other and all the airlines in the One World Alliance. However, each flight you take will only earn tier points into one scheme, and you need to nominate the scheme at the time of booking. You can get tier points moved after a booking and also shortly after flying, but I needed to assign my BA account number to a Qantas flight after I'd booked, and it was a major faff involving multiple calls, loads of messages. It took hours of work. So the key here is, if you think that there's 2 different schemes that might work for you, then you need to think carefully and pick one, and then make sure each flight has that scheme account number assigned to it at the time of booking. Do I have to book on the BA website in order to get tier points? And this is another no, and it's another short answer, but again, let's just get a bit more detail. You can still get tier points if you don't book on the BA site. All One World airline booking sites should have an option for you to add your executive club number on them, but Qantas didn't when I booked a flight with them last year, and there was nothing in Manage My Booking after I'd booked. However, this year I've booked another short haul flight with them, and this time I had to expressly say, don't use my stored details, and then through that process I was able to get a clean form and fill in my executive club number. I've just had a look on the Expedia website, and there is somewhere for you to enter your frequent flyer number on the Expedia booking form. So if you're booking through them, then you should be able to claim tier points that way. A word of caution though, if you're using third-party booking sites or travel agencies to book airline tickets, and then you have a problem like a misspelt name or something else goes wrong, your plans change or whatever, then this just all adds an extra layer of faff to an already painful process. You won't be able to deal with the airline, you'll have to go to the travel agent. And I've read a lot of news stories with customers losing hundreds, even thousands of pounds due to change of plans or misspelled tickets. So unless the saving is significant when you book, always book direct with the airline. To give you a counter scenario, I got a new passport this year and I booked my ticket with BA and I forgot to update the passport details before I made the booking. One phone call was all it took. It didn't cost me anything and it was completely hassle-free. The change was completely painless. And I'd just like to take a moment just to say thank you to everyone who is supporting the channel through subscribing and clicking the thumbs up button, and to everyone who leaves me comments. This entire video is based on you taking the time to leave interesting questions and comments. So thank you. I really do appreciate every view, every comment, every like, and each and every subscriber. Your ongoing support is appreciated. And I'm going to make a one-time plea. This is the only time I'm ever going to say this. I am getting close to having enough subscribers and enough watch time on the channel to become monetized, which means that the channel will get a share of the revenue from the adverts that you see at the start of my videos. At the moment, YouTube gets all of the ad revenue. I don't receive a penny. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you have, perhaps you could watch my videos for an extra 5 or 10 minutes just to help me get across the line. It won't cost you anything, but it will help the channel significantly. So thank you for your support. It really does mean an awful lot to me. Okay, back to it. I did have a comment from a viewer that unless you fly every fortnight, then status really isn't worth it. And this is an excellent point to make, really. Now, I don't think you need to be flying as much as once a fortnight for status to be worthwhile. But on the other end of the scale, if you take 1 or 2 trips a year, then status is probably not going to make much difference to your holiday experience. Because rather than spending the time and money on getting status, you could just put that money into premium seats on flights, luxury hotels, and some other experiences once you're at your holiday destination. And you do only get benefit from your status when you fly. Ryanair does not have a frequent flyer program. However, if you've got a chunk of travel planned and you can fly with partner airlines within an alliance, then status within that alliance probably makes sense, because you don't have to be gold to get benefits. A bronze status holder would get to skip this punishing queue at Melbourne Airport, and silver status holders get access to business lounges as well as other perks. And for me, well, travel is the aim, and I'm flexible on when and where I go, so my status is just a byproduct of that travel. So exactly when it makes sense for you is a personal choice. So do you have to repeat the process every year to maintain status? Well, the answer here is yes and no. Sorry. BA does have lifetime gold status once you've accumulated 35,000 tier points across the life of your executive club membership. And once you get those 35,000 tier points, your gold status will never expire. To give that some context, it's 250 business flights between London and New York across your lifetime. For everyone else, to maintain your status, you do have to achieve the required points for that status in each membership year. That's the bad news, but then there's a couple of bits of good news too. If you don't earn enough points to maintain your current level of status, BA doesn't just drop you back down to blue, it'll soft land you down 1 level of status. So if you're currently gold and you don't earn enough tier points, you'll actually soft land into silver, and then the following year you'll drop into bronze before finally dropping you down to blue. Now, there is another bit of good news, and that's that you have a grace period at the end of your membership year where you continue to retain your benefits until the end of the next month. So my membership year ends in July, so the last day of my current membership year is the 8th of July 2024, and I'm currently gold. If I don't earn any tier points in this membership year, I'll retain my gold perks until the 31st of August 2024, and then I'll soft land into silver until I lose those perks on the 31st of August 2025. But there's even more good news. I have no intention of requalifying for gold in this membership year, but due to the double tier points offer, I am intending to requalify once I'm into my next membership year in July 2024. Now, once I reach gold in that membership year, I'll be immediately promoted back up to gold for the remainder of that membership year, and then for the next membership year, and then I'll be soft landed into silver for the year after that. And the next question is about status benefits, or as they put it, what does gold membership even get you? Now, I had a few comments asking about the benefits of status, and I was also asked about the difference in benefits between gold and silver. So I think for the most part, I can refer back to the BA Executive Club guide that I made. And for about 2 minutes in, I talk about the benefits of status, and I'll leave a link to that description in the video. And I'll also leave a link to the BA website so you can look at the benefits available on there too. But for me, these are the highlights for silver and gold status holders. When you arrive at the airport, you get to skip all of the punishing check-in lines by using the business class check-in. And although I had a few comments telling me that priority baggage doesn't exist in reality, I have had priority bag labels added to my luggage every time I've checked a bag. And the times I can definitely remember my bags coming off in the first wave are when I landed at Heathrow having flown in with Malaysia, and then also flying into Heathrow once with BA, that was coming back from Barbados, flying to Perth with Qantas, flying into Melbourne from Canberra, and also flying into Barbados with BA. I think we can say that apart from flying into Heathrow with BA, priority baggage is real, and it happens with silver and gold, and that's regardless of the class of your ticket. And another benefit was pointed out to me in the comments that both gold and silver get access to priority security lanes, but not always. It depends on the airport. Now, this benefit can be debatable at peak times, but when I've used them, they've always been quicker. And the real benefit for me is that if my bag is selected for additional screening, there's rarely that long and lonely wait for your bag to be checked manually. So it's usually an immediate process. And once you're airside, you can make your way then to the business class lounge with free food and drink, which is available to gold and silver. And when you get to the gate, you can board first. You'll get priority boarding. Now, this is actually useful on BA flights if you're carrying on a large carry-on bag, because space for these is limited. And if you board last, there may not be room in the overhead bins, and your bag then gets checked into the hold. And then, when you come to sit in your seat, well, it'll be your pre-selected seat, which you didn't actually have to pay to select because your status allows you to book your preferred seat at no cost at the time of booking. And this includes extra legroom seats on European flights. So moving on to gold member only perks, one of the best perks that gold status holders get is gold seat blocking. Now in this, the seat next to a gold member will be kept empty until the flight fills up and the seat is needed for a paying passenger. Now legroom doesn't bother me on flights because I'm super short, but having both armrests, a bit of extra elbow room, that makes my seat feel much more comfortable. And of course, gold status holders get to check in using exclusive first class check-in lanes where they're available, like the first wing at Heathrow. I talked about this in a recent video and it feels really exclusive when you use this. And gold members get a lounge upgrade too. They'll get access to the first lounge in Heathrow Terminal 5, which is a nice lounge overall, but there's also the Cathay Pacific lounge over in Terminal 3, which I've been told is the best lounge in Heathrow and one of the best in the world. In Melbourne and Sydney, you get access to the Qantas First Class Lounge, and I visited the Melbourne Lounge and it was absolutely superb. It had a la carte food, I had wines paired with each course, coffee and brandy to finish. It's possibly the best lounge I've ever visited. Although that is a lot of me yakking on about status benefits, there is one more, and that is you're also more likely to get upgraded if you have status. I think the days where honeymooners or people turning up in business attire being more likely to get bumped, well, they seem to be over. I've booked 3 European economy flights with BA this year, and I've been upgraded to Club Europe on 2 of them. And those upgrades were assigned before I got to the gate or even the check-in desk. The flight was full, so I got bumped up. So I've also been asked about how you go about booking West Coast USA tier point runs. Now in one of the videos I talked about breaking up an LA flight by using a layover in New York to double the number of tier points, and I alluded that you could book other West Coast USA flights that offered good pound to tier point value, and now I've been asked exactly how you go about booking them. The problem I have here is I haven't done it, so I don't feel qualified to talk about it or make a video about it. I'd just be parroting back what I've learned from others. If in the future I book and execute a tier point run via the USA, then I will of course make a video about booking it and doing it. But in the meantime, the theory is this. To get these runs to yield around 100 tier points, you need to start outside the UK, ideally from a short haul plus destination like Sofia or Bucharest. But Dublin has been offering some cheaper flights, but you obviously get a few less points. Now, then you need to find a flight to the west coast of the USA with a destination that's more than 2,000 miles away from New York, because this is the 140 tier point segment threshold. So you're looking for Los Angeles, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and so on. And if you're very lucky, you might get a good price to somewhere like Hawaii. Now, you can use Google Flights to try and find these. Just remember to turn the One World Airlines filter on. And you also need to normally look for dates that are at least 6 months in advance to get the best fares. But I don't think there are many good deals about at the moment. Once you do find a flight that you like, you've got to try and break it up and book it. And to do this, you're going to need a tool called ITA Matrix. And that really is enough of me parroting back what other YouTubers can tell you. But if it has whet your appetite and you'd like to know more, I'll leave you a link to Matt Jones's video on his channel, Matt's Planet. I'll leave 2 links, one of which will be to his recent video on ITA Matrix, and that's a really good video. And then the other link will be to his tier point run video. Avios earning rates changed on the 18th of October 2023. Thanks to the person that pointed this out, they're quite right that the way you earn Avios and the bonus you get on them changed on the 18th of October just gone. Now, the key takeaway is that you used to earn Avios based on the distance travelled, but now you'll earn Avios based on the amount of money you spend. Now, I've got an Avios video in the works, and I'll talk all about earning Avios in that video. So for here and now, let's just remember that Avios and tier points are separate and different. Avios do not give you status, but if you have status, it does mean you'll earn Avios at an enhanced rate. So blue members, they're going to get 6 Avios for every pound they spend. Bronze members get 7, silver members get 8, and golds will now get 8 Avios for each pound spent. However, not every pound is made equal with BA. It's not quite as simple as that. But I'm not going to get into all the details of which pounds get Avios and which don't. If you just click if you just hit the subscribe button and click the bell, then you'll get a notification when I release that video. And there was a question about changes to the terms and conditions on the BA holidays offer. And the change that I was alerted to was clause 1F, which says bookings can only contain one flight departing the UK. Multiple journeys from the UK within one booking will not qualify. And the viewer was concerned that this would mean that flights starting from Edinburgh to European short-haul destinations would now be excluded. But this didn't pass the smell test for me. I don't know why BA would essentially exclude customers that were outside the South and Midlands. But sometimes BA can do things that make no sense to me at all. So I called the Gold Help Desk and they answered the phone quite quickly. Now, apparently, this clause was added to defeat the following loophole. A customer books a flight from London to the USA, and then on the same booking books a flight from New York to Madrid via London, and then Madrid back to London. They book one 5-night car hire or hotel, and they claim double points across the whole lot. But clause 1F now excludes this because there will be more than one flight that is departing or leaving the UK. So BA have made 5 separate updates to the terms and conditions during the life of the offer, mostly to close loopholes like this one that clever people have managed to exploit. I will leave a link to the terms and conditions so you can make sure that your double tier points holiday does qualify for them. If I get the chance to make another gold status planning video, I'll go through all the terms and conditions in a little more detail in that video. Do let me know in the comments if you think that would be helpful. I'm talking about the part of the video where I delved in and tried to find flights that would actually get you gold for a reasonable price. And once again, I think I've been talking for long enough and it's time for me to go downstairs, put the kettle on and make a cuppa. If you've got more questions, then please do leave me a comment. I am more than happy to help, and if I don't know the answer, then I will call the gold line and try and find out for you. Thank you to everyone who's left comments. You've basically made this video. It's wonderful. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do give me a like if you have. A subscribe would be much appreciated. So thank you for watching and joining me on My Grey Gap Year.